Now, the next question will be, are there specific regulations regarding to the use of Bitcoin in Africa? How can entrepreneurs address these regulatory challenges?
Sure. So every country is going to have their own kind of unique set. I know in Ethiopia, there's kind of the governing body or the regulatory body. It's called the National Bank of Ethiopia. So, they have their own statements about, Bitcoin. I know each of the ministries have their own kind of stances and thoughts about Bitcoin. I think for a matter of commerce and doing business in Ethiopia, any crypto entrepreneurs will need to register with it's called INSA. It's kind of the Ethiopian version of the CIA or the NSA. So they ask that any businesses doing any business with Bitcoin register with their offices. That being said, I think Bitcoin has been able to grow without the need for regulation. So you don't. Whether the government is on board or not,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that'll make much of a difference. And as has been said, everything is good for Bitcoin. So there's not much you can do to close down the network and close down the incentives for Ethiopians and Africans to participate in the network.
Yeah, this is really interesting. Well, the case of Ethiopia is really interesting because what I well, all the governments will try to maintain the centralization over the economy, but the how can we say it? Yeah, the line they are taking is because they are trying to prevent the use of Bitcoin to bad things like by this kind of destabilizations groups. But I think, as you say, they cannot do much over them because it's totally free. Bitcoin is totally free. It's is the first time in human history that we can use a currency per equals. So
Yeah,
everyone can use it. So I think it's really powerful. This is the secret and the power of Bitcoin, actually. Well,
absolutely. And like you said, there is a lot of fear from the side of government, and I think in Ethiopia we have closed capital markets,
mhm,
so the controls are extremely high, to where the black market or the
mhm,
free market is where the majority of transactions are happening. So and so because the regulations are so high in transacting using the US dollar, it's created a premium for the US dollar. So
mhm,
that also creates a premium for Bitcoin. So there's actually the price of one Bitcoin in Ethiopia is actually a lot higher than the price of one Bitcoin in the United States, because receiving the USD is such a nightmare, right? You have to go into
mhm.
kind of the back alleys and the black markets, and so whether the government allows for this or not, there's always going to be demand there.